I've used these two handheld game devices for quite some time, and I think I can make a good review out of them to make a comparison for you if you are unable to decide which one to pick, because they are very, very similar but also very different. Now, before turning them on, you can see that the R36 Max compared to R36S, which is on my left, is much, much larger. It's pretty clear. Although the configuration of the keys and the buttons is quite the same, you can see that the R36 on the right side is much larger, has a much larger screen, and the experience should be much better. Whereas the other one has a smaller screen, but generally speaking, I mean, the way it looks and feels, I prefer this one because it feels really balanced in my hand. It really, really feels good. Whereas this one, besides boasting these titties, which I like to touch, it's pretty much very, very unbalanced. I do feel that it could be larger down here. And the screen, yeah, it looks beautifully and it has a good response rate. But we will see later if it's going to be an advantage or not. Now, when you order these devices from Temu, you will get the device itself with also the SD cards pre-installed, and both of them have a Linux operating system, but the operating system differs from this device to this device. So practically the R36S has a ArcOS, which is customized by the Temu store, and this one, the R36 Max, has EmuElec OS, which is another Linux operating system as well, customized by the Temu store. Let's jump into it by starting the R36S. Now, before jumping into the general presentation, I want to let you know that I had this device ordered. It indeed has like 3,000 games, and many of them work to some extent. Some of them have key mapping configuration issues and blah blah blah, and some of them have really bad performance. Now what I did was to, and it was a stupid mistake, was to upgrade the operating system to the newer version. The problem is that the Temu store, the Chinese guys, they really hacked into it and they really customize it a lot. And when you do the upgrade, it actually goes to the stock OS store or server and it upgrades from there. And then you're gonna lose a lot of configuration and stuff like that. And after the upgrade, I just couldn't play any game. So I got some errors. It didn't start any game, and then I had to reflash with the stock OS, and unfortunately I didn't get this on camera. I would have loved to show you some stock games, but it's not the case. But if you are interested to see how I did the upgrade, I have like two short videos on my channel. You can check them out. Now it's a bad thing that I lost 3,000 games, but the big advantage is that I also installed ports. Ports is comes from Ports Master, and it's practically a sort of a collection or an application, or how to say, not necessarily a store because every game is open source, but it's like a place where you can get in there and install your own game. And this RQS is also very customizable. So I added my own script which can show you like a message and get some user input. So if I want to like say hello, you have hello player, have fun. Or if I want to write something, you know, I can say here hello, and then okay, and then you can see the message on the screen. But anyway, uh, let's quit it. Select start quits to the main menu. If you go to the options, you have the tools, and here you have the ports master. So this is where you can go and install your game. Now I don't have internet connected, so it will not work. If I want to make it work, it will be good to go connect to the internet. But this is how the interface looks like, and you can browse through a lot of games. So if you look here, there's a lot of games which you can install for free, like even Duke Nukem 3D and all kinds of interesting stuff. Let's see some games that are already installed in ports. What I like the game was Curses, not this one. Yeah, even with this port, some games they don't really work properly. For instance, Half-Life doesn't work. Revolt has some configuration issues, but some, yes, the ones which are working, they're quite fine, and I'm yeah, pretty much satisfied with the experience. But some games are of course annoying. These arcade games, they are kind of sticking to your neck and like a thistle. For instance, in this game, you need to you are like Donald Trump here. You need to jump and avoid all these spikes and go to the exit point. And you can use these crates for you, and you can jump and place some crates around. And you have to be really careful how you do it. For instance, I just died a little bit of spikiness, and then I was kaput. I didn't do it properly. Yeah, it's quite an interesting game, and this kind of games they are not on the stock OS when you buy the device. So just for you to remember that they are not in the stock, you have to install them by yourself. And the device is pretty customizable. As you could see, it's like a really wonderful device when it comes to flexibility and customizability. And yeah, let's see how can we install a new game. You remember that I used something like a Wi-Fi dongle to connect to the internet. So if you want to connect to the internet, you can plug it in DTG port right here at the bottom, and then you need to go to the option menus, and you also have, by the way, an SSH. You can enable, you can connect to it, and also you have a file manager. And let's connect to the Wi-Fi. Enable Wi-Fi. Hmm. Oh, I didn't ask you to disable. Okay, it says that we activated it. And let's see if we are already connected. So if you go to options, you can go to network info, and you should be able to see something. Yeah, so I'm connected, and let's install a game. Let's see how we can install a game with the port master. Open port master, and then yeah, it has some updates. You can see downloads them from the internet, so we are connected to it. Yeah, sometimes you have to be patient. Okay, usually if you go to the featured ports, you can like install something from here, and they usually should work. Help no break. That one this didn't work. Echo chamber. Yeah, let's install this one. Now it unpacks the game. Let's head back. Wait. And then you go to the ports section and need to find the game, echo chamber. Let's see if it's running. Start. Yeah, I don't think it's running properly. Start. Yeah, some games have this problem that you don't yeah, somehow the key maps do not work. I don't know why, but anyway, that's the idea of it. You can like install it right from the options menu, and then you can play. For instance, you can also play Doom RPG. That one I think I tried before. It should be working. Let's see. Or not. Yeah, it's a bit of a sketchy business, to be honest. But I try to do my research as much as I could in order to have it properly. Doom one share with. This one is no, something like an demo map. I don't know exactly how. New game. I'm too young to die. Yeah, and yeah, you can play around. It's a bit tricky because I don't remember to have seen any monster. Okay, how can you shoot? Okay, oop, you can get health back. I don't know exactly how can I jump. Yeah, it's a bit yeah, tricky. I don't know exactly if you can jump or you can shoot. Yeah. Anyway, not a really big deal. Yeah, time to move to the other one and see how it goes. Now, you remember that I told you this one has a different operating system. And you could already see that the screen is much, much brighter. The loading times are, I think they are quite similar, although this one tends to take much more time to load. Okay. And you can see all these games categorized by the provider. But the ugly surprise, and that's why I didn't want to do any updates to it yet before recording this video, is because none of these games actually work. Let's try to start one. The only ones which work are on the PSP version. You can see that it's popping up the please wait again, and then you see this beautiful, marvelous error with some segmentation fault, so it's probably yeah, need to update or do something with it. Then you need to hit close. Ah, it's a bit sketchy sometimes, so I was yeah, pretty much disappointed. None of these games work, so if you are buying into this device, just remember you might get unlucky. I don't know how they send them these devices. I have no idea, but none of these games actually work. You see, I have the same error again. And I don't know exactly how can come on, yeah. And the only games that work are on the PSP. You can play a lot of interesting games. Castlevania was quite fine. what I played and it was interesting was the you have a sort of version of a Grand Theft Auto. This is a game which I really like. The thing is that these games on this device, like they are Chinese, so to say, because many of them are in Chinese, and they don't seem to have any translation whatsoever, and it's yeah, pretty bad, I would say. And many of them have some cut scenes, which sometimes it works to, yeah. You need to try to press the start button or A or B or something like that just to skip them because they are long enough. Okay, and what you will notice immediately that it has like a sort of a occasional freezes into it. This is what I always notice, and it's yeah, sometimes it can be annoying. And another one particular thing that I want to to point your attention to is that you see you have this big screen. Okay, but what's the use if the game runs in 4 by 3 mode? I don't get it. Oh, did I do something? I didn't do anything, so it just shut down. Maybe it doesn't have any more battery. I don't know. Let's see. Let's wait for it to load. Yeah, and I would say the operating systems, but it's on both of the devices is the same case. They are sometimes unstable, and just pay attention when you are not playing. Just like use the start, for instance, on this one, use the start, and then go to quit and just shut down the system. Don't forget to do that, otherwise it will drain your battery. As I can see, I have plenty of battery, so most likely it was a crash. Okay, let's see some other GTA game or something different. Metal GP. This one was an interesting game. But again, it also runs on 4 by 3 mode, if I remember correctly, yes. And to me, it's really shocking because as far as I tested, none of these games actually relinquish or relish the fact that the screen is this big. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter that much to you, but to me, I would like to have this advantage of the bigger screen, right? Come on, mission one. Okay, I don't know how can you jump with A. Okay, and B throws grenade. Okay. Huh? Yeah, I think I died. Yeah, I'm not really good at this sort of games, but I mean it. I think it. I would say it's a pretty funny game. It seems quite fluid and yeah, why not? Play it. But it's too bad that not all of the games really work properly, so it's pretty much a disappointment. Yeah, let's jump to the main menu. Now, what you could also see and is that this is not really, yeah, it's not really customizable. It doesn't have an option with something, some script that you can, use to connect to Wi-Fi or things like that. What did it do? It again, it crashed. I don't get it. It sometimes acts up. I don't know why. And I already feel it pretty bad in my hand. I really don't like the general feel. Although I like the titties when you turn them upside down, but it's really strange. And it seems to be more buggy than the other one. Now we see it doesn't start up, so come on. I wanted to show you the menu, and I wanted to see if I can connect it to the Wi-Fi with the same method that I used on the R36S. You can also use the reset button here if something pops up. I don't know if it will work. It didn't act on me like that before, but you never know. With these devices, nothing is for certain. That's why I'm saying that the operating systems themselves are not really stable, and don't expect a very good performance in every game. So some games work better than the others, so you actually have no idea. You have to try them. And this thing with like 3,000 games, it's actually more of a marketing thing, I would say. Yeah, the thing is acting up on me, but I tried it before, so I just couldn't connect this device to the Wi-Fi the same way I did with this one. So I will have to maybe make another video on that and a live video where I will upgrade the device and see if upgrading it fixes the problems with the games themselves. But until then, yeah, it's a pretty much of adventure with all these devices and all these games. To me, it's they can be really annoying as well, also fun, but just bear in mind, in my opinion, this one is a bit better. But don't forget, if you are doing some upgrades, just save the contents of the original SD card so that you don't have the same problem that I do, that you lose all the games and configurations and stuff like that. And yeah, I wish you happy gaming. And if you like this video, just drop uh, that subscribe button and drop me a message if you think that I can also do some other videos related to these devices and other devices that I do, and I would be happy to hear from you. Thank you so much.